Good morning. Welcome to Veteran Services with Gerry Maguire. I get a lot of phone calls about jobs. Hey, can you help me get hired here? Can you help me get hired there? From veterans across the board. I get phone calls from retired veterans that say, hey, Gerry, where can I go to work for a couple days a week? I just need a little extra. Well, that's what this show is all about today. Getting the veteran hired and talking about the benefits available to the veteran prior to hiring, such as training. Now, this is Eva Montebella from Ashland Farms. And Eva, what's your position there?
I'm in community relations, so I really work both internally and externally to support the community in any way that will help us be successful and help residents live a really wonderful quality of life.
And this is Mitch Gilbert from Valley Works. Mitch, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, I'm the Veteran Employment Representative in our Lawrence office of Valley Works Career Center. We have two offices, one in Haverhill, which is co-located at the Community College, Northern Essex Community College, and I'm in the Lawrence office. And our goal is to provide veterans with services to get them employed or get them the training they need for better employment.
So you work exclusively with veterans?
Absolutely, and actually more so with a specific community of veterans that have significant barriers to employment. So myself and my counterpart, Bryn McLeod, in our Haverhill office, that's what we do.
All right, so when you say barriers, what are you talking about when you say barriers to employment?
Well, the U.S. Department of Labor recently determined that we have to refocus our efforts on servicing the needs of a lot of the veterans that have just returned from Iraq and Afghanistan and have been identified as having significant barriers. For example, the 18 to 24-year-old crowd is among the highest proportionately unemployed among all veterans. On the other side, we have some Vietnam War veterans that elected to quit school and go off and serve their country before finishing high school, and as a result never got their diploma. So we work with that group.
I know how hard that road is. When I joined, I quit high school to get in. I now have 4 degrees, by the way, and a high school diploma.
And we also work with those that have been determined to be service-connected as a result of their military service, which is, at this time, it's a large amount of our new veteran population.
Right.
So.
Well, I don't want to just focus on the young guys. I want the older veterans, especially the Vietnam-era veterans, veterans that are retired, to know that there are job opportunities, whether it's part-time or full-time, that they're still very, very, very valuable to our society. You brought a lot of literature here with you, and I like that. The one that sticks out the most to me is, you don't mind if I pick this up, huh?
Sure.
This is, you said free training?
Well, yeah, Valley Works, we have several grant-funded training programs. This particular one, through the Merrimack Valley WIB, the Workforce Investment Board, we've got this CDLB with hoist licensing training. It's a 5-week program, and that's grant-funded. Taking applications. This is an example of some of the training that's available at Valley Works, and a lot of folks aren't aware of it, including many of our veterans. They think of Valley Works as the unemployment office. Well, we have that function as well, but there are a variety of services there. There's training, there's tutorials, there's help with resume writing, and mainly job placement as part of the Disabled Veterans Outreach Program. All federal contractors in our area are required by law to submit their job opportunities to us first so that we can put it out to our veterans. So every morning I typically get hundreds of jobs in an email dump from all the various employers that are federal contractors, so I can put that out to veterans. So you were mentioning earlier about the older veteran crowd that may not be looking for full-time work, but maybe something part-time, or there are many, many opportunities, so they'd really have to avail themselves of that by coming into Valley Works and finding out what we can offer them.
Now, I'm hoping to establish a connection between Benchmark and Valley Works, so that Benchmark it's a larger organization than just Ashland Farms, and you have part-time positions that are available.
We do. We have part-time positions in a lot of different areas, you know, whether it's dining or programming. We have lots of nursing positions, as well as, you know, those younger people that are looking for nursing assistant type roles. So we have many positions in Ashland Farm, but we also have them throughout our 52 communities.
You have 52?
Yep, in New England. So
I really didn't know that.
yeah. So and it you know, and it's, you know, and if you say you like one community, but then you needed more hours, we have lots of other communities where you can job share in other places.
So you do also have full-time work available?
We do.
All right, and the pay, is it competitive?
It's very competitive. It's a great company. I think one of the things about Benchmark that I'm most proud of is our philosophy on how we both treat our residents and how we treat our associates. You know, I've had a long career, 25 years in my career, and I have to say that Benchmark absolutely offers the best top-notch training. I just said I wish I had this job, you know, 25 years ago when I first started, because I really have a solid foundation of, you know, integrity and quality of life for, you know, the elderly, and really a whole appreciation.
And to further back Benchmark, let me tell you, my daughter works there. Not with your facility,
Right.
but another facility. Another one of the 52 facilities. And she loves it too, by the way. So, Mitch, what other training? You have apprentice training for veterans in Massachusetts. Tell me about this.
Well, yeah, these are, for example, the state of Massachusetts is really good on their apprenticeship program, and there is a specific program and contact that anyone interested in an apprenticeship. The big question is, young folks typically ask, well, how do you get into the trades? You know, is there a secret handshake? You got to know somebody, you know, and well, that's the thing. My office is really like an information source. So we don't dispense apprenticeship training at Valley Works, but it's a source of information where if you have a question, you come in and I have the answer and I can lead you in the right direction, or my counterpart Bryn and Haverhill can lead you in the right direction. Yes, we know about it. Yes, we know who to contact, and yes, we know when the meetings are and what you need to do to get into the trades if that's what you're interested in.
Now, is this the same program or a different program as helmets to hard hats?
No, that's a separate entity, but
That's through the
the
VA?
result is the same. It's a way of breaking into the trades. But we have all the information at our office, so if someone came in and said, hey, I want to learn how to be a plumber, what do I have to do? Here you go. Here's who you contact, here's how you get the training. Are you eligible for GI Bill benefits? If not, maybe you can apply for some grant-funded training or apply directly and get that apprenticeship training through the Commonwealth. So there's all kinds of ways to accomplish that.
So what I'm hearing from both of you is that it's possible to get both a job and or a career from either organization. Now, if you had, we had mentioned nursing. So let's say you had a student nurse come to work for you, and he or she finishes their degree and they're an LPN. Does your organization offer educational reimbursement to continue on to the RN program, or?
You have to come to Benchmark for a year, and then after a year they will.
Oh, okay, so
But
you would
in
take
the-
an LPN,
Yeah.
hire them on for a year, and then the benefits expand to
Yeah.
educate. Oh, cool, very
The
good.
other thing about LPNs or anyone in any nursing program is once you hit your second year of nursing school, then you can become something called a certified nursing assistant and get to be, get an introduction to the residents and how things go on a different level, a level just below the nursing.
Okay.
I actually think that anybody that goes into they call it the CNA program, the nursing assistant program, has a much stronger ability to relate to people. And then when you get all the medical training, then you get a promotion. And then
Now-
when you get your RN, you get another promotion.
We have some veterans who are 100% disabled. It's called 100% Service-Connected.
Yep.
And because of their disabilities, they can't maintain a full-time job. So they sit on the couch and they get in trouble with health and whatnot. But you have part-time positions that will allow a disabled veteran to work.
Yeah, we would absolutely look at the whole profile of it, I think with anything, but we certainly have some positions that are seated, that are trainable, so we could absolutely work with that.
Now, in your dining area, what would the veteran be doing in the dining area, the kitchen area? Are we talking about, dishwashers? Are we talking about servers? Are we talking about both?
All of them, dishwashers, servers, cooks. So,
Right, so the servers, that pay is also competitive
Competitively,
because
yeah.
there's obviously no tipping.
right.
Right. So I just want to make sure that the veteran is going to be, paid an appropriate amount, because it just dawned on me that there's no tipping. So
Right. No, it's very competitive. Like I said, but the benefits are unbelievable if you get up over that full-time,
1 year
threshold.
mark.
Well, also, if you have a full-time position, the benefits are really fantastic. The training is fantastic. And I think one of the other things at Benchmark is, very similar to Mitch's point is, once you're in, the world is your oyster. You can look at all of the different training opportunities. Like our training, we call it Benchmark University, is very robust. Everyone gets trained on, elderly, care in terms of dementia and Alzheimer's and, how to interact with folks respectfully.
so they get cross-trained.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. So say you come in as a dining person and you're like, oh, I love activities and programming. You can actually go on to a track and get trained for that. A lot of people switch around in Benchmark when they see, oh, maybe I want to be an executive director someday. So you can get on that track too.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Now, are there programs available or opportunities available for those that already have an established degree, say, in business?
Yep, we have not at Ashland Farm right now, but I mean we have 52 communities.
52, yeah.
We can find one, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And it's also good to have that redundancy, is maybe come in at a little bit of a lower level. You may have a degree, but you come in at a different position. You really learn the community, and then when that role opens up, it's kind of inherently, spoken to about that we're moving you into that direction. So.
Right. So, Mitch, tell me about Put America to Work. What is this?
Oh, well, this is the Work Opportunity Tax Credit, which benefits employers who hire certain classes of employees, including veterans. So that provides significant tax breaks, and which can be really helpful to the bottom line for small businesses. Yeah.
Do the tax breaks add up? So
Well-
if you had an organization like Benchmark that has 52 communities, their tax liability is pretty large.
You're right.
So if they hired veterans, that would chisel that down for them?
Absolutely. My understanding's up to $9,600 per hiree. And that's something, again, that I have as a source of information that I can put out, or our business service representatives can put out to employers and give them a point of contact. We have an office in Boston that will deal directly with that and help the employers through that process and educate them on that.
No, so that's any company or business that hires a veteran has earned a tax break. Is that correct?
Well, that's it's a federal program. I think they have to meet certain criteria There's no limit on the number of individuals an employer can hire to qualify to claim the tax credit. Yeah, I'm not sure what the criteria is. There's an IRS form that has to be filed, but we do have an office that would deal directly with answering
that's in
all
Boston?
those. Yes.
Okay.
That's the
right.
executive office of.
So it would be
Labor
ideal
and
for a small
Workforce
business,
Development.
but it would also benefit a large corporation.
Sure. Yeah.
All right, all right. You had mentioned earlier that it's a federal law for government agencies to contact you.
Private employers who are federal contractors provide goods and services to the federal government. In their hiring practices, they're required to outreach first to the Disabled Veterans Outreach Program employment representatives, which is myself in the Merrimack Valley area, and my counterpart, Bryn McLeod in Haverhill. So yeah, they're required to do that. Now, all that means is that a veteran gets a jump on the application process in terms of being exposed to the job. Now, whether or not they qualify, that's another.
And some of the requirements, some of the eligibility requirements are that you receive a campaign medal.
All right, those are for federal, these are federal hiring preferences that you're leading into. That's a different story. That's for federal agencies. There's certain preferences that federal agencies have where veterans can be hired. There's the standard, a preference eligible veteran who has other than a dishonorable discharge and served on active duty for more than 180 days. That's a general preference eligible. But there's a couple of other programs that allow federal agencies to hire certain veterans who meet certain criteria, and some of these VRA, like you were mentioning, the Veteran Recruitment Appointment, allows for federal agencies to hire veterans without competition. So in other words, in that pool of eligible candidates, there are only those veterans that meet that criteria. For example, having a campaign medal, being a disabled veteran.
Now, disabled veteran, the VA gives out a rating of 0%.
Okay, that
so
qualifies.
that would still, okay, good.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now remember, there's two categories of disabled veterans. There's the regular disabled veteran, then special disabled, the 30% or the 20% or more. That's for a different criteria. But the general disabled veteran, anyone with 0% or more, should be
qualify.
eligible under that particular preference. And there is an application process. It's all, and these are the sorts of services that we would guide our veteran clients through if they're interested in finding federal employment. And let me tell you, there's a lot of good federal jobs in our immediate area here. You would be surprised. And the trick is, how do you find those good jobs? And that's why you want to come down to see people like me, because that's what we specialize in. I'll point you in the right direction. I'll help you through the I'm not going to do the application, but I'm going to help the veteran through that process.
So it sounds like the veteran has several avenues that he can go down, whether he wants a blue-collar job, a white-collar job,
Sure.
He wants a federal employed job, wants a job in the civilian world.
Yeah.
And he would go to your office for the guidance. Now, Eva, where would a veteran apply to Benchmark? How do you get hired by Benchmark?
Yeah, you would want to go to the website, and on the website you would just look through all of the positions available, and then you would just apply to that specific position. And I would also say walk in and introduce yourself. You know, I think that it's always good to see a face, a smiling, happy face, you know, come in the door. And then also if you had, you know, got the referral from you, or you, please mention that. Knowing someone is always a boost up.
All right, so they apply online, and
Or they see the job online and they come into the building and apply.
oh, okay. All right, glad we cleared that up. So you see the job online, and the job you'll know what community that job pertains to. So my daughter works in Haverhill, so it may say something like janitorial staff, Haverhill.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. You also, Benchmark has a very robust website, so you can search by job, you can search by community. So depending on what your personal criteria is, we can just sort that. You can sort it right out for yourself and then identify all of the things that are important to you.
Okay. So there are a lot of job opportunities out there. There's careers, there's part-time, there's full-time. All you got to do is make the phone call. The numbers are listed at the bottom of the screen. Call me if you have any questions. You have my number. You earned all these things. You really need to pick up that phone. I sound like the TV guy with the ads for the school now. Pick up the phone, get off the couch. But hey, it's available. They're there for you. So we're going to wrap up this edition. And I want to thank Eva and Mitch. And I want to thank you guys. Tune in again next month for another show of Veteran Services with Gerry Maguire.